I even remember mentally preparing myself to cross over. That's how bad it was. That's really, really how bad it was. Hello, my loves. Welcome or welcome back to my YouTube channel. If it is your first time here, my name is Lizzie, and here we talk about spirituality, angels, quantum healing, and so much more. Today, I felt very called. I've actually been feeling called to record this video for quite some time now, but I finally feel like I'm at a place where I am ready to do this. I am ready to share more about what my experience was like, almost losing my life and choosing to stay here in the earthly realm, choosing to live, choosing this path that I am so grateful for today. If you are newer to my channel, you may not know that 2 years ago, I was navigating through a debilitating illness, navigating through a very difficult health journey. But that's actually what led me to Reiki healing and to a lot of where many of you have found my channel through, which is energy healing. This time was one of the scariest times of my life. It was one of the hardest initiations that I have ever had to go through. But I look back on it with so much gratitude because it has allowed me to share all the wisdom gained with you all. I know that I've shared a little bit in previous videos, but when I was going through this health journey, there was so much that I was resisting on the spiritual level. I knew deep down that it was a spiritual initiation that I was going through. It was something spiritual that needed to be healed. But because my logical mind, and truly because of fear, I was gripping onto logical solutions. I was like, there has to be a way that these doctors have to help me, or Western medicine, or any of these things. But there was nothing Western medicine could do, nothing that Ayurvedic medicine could do, or Chinese medicine, naturopathic medicine, anything. No diagnosis. I was just rapidly losing weight. Nothing was absorbing, and it wasn't until all human possibilities, all human solutions were exhausted, where I finally was able to accept the fact that this is a spiritual lesson, a spiritual journey for me, and I will make it through the spiritual journey. In the times when my health was really, really declining, that is when I continued to receive the message, the divine will heal you, the divine will heal you. And that's also when I found out about Reiki and learning how to do Reiki on myself, learning how energy healing works. And this brought me to a whole new perspective of looking at life and looking at the layers that we don't get to see here in the physical. There's so much more than what meets the eye. And I definitely learned that through this health journey. Now, when it comes to my near-death experience, there were multiple times during this journey, during this time, that I was this close to losing my life. And now that I've recovered, and now that some time has passed, I can see things so much more clearly than when I was in it, when I was really, really going through it. And I also believe that there's a reason for this as well. I mean, when you're navigating through a traumatic experience, it's going to take a bit for everything to catch up, for your mind, everything, your body to catch up on everything that has happened. And now that I'm in such a healthy state, mind, body, and spirit, I recognize everything for what it really is. I truly, truly do. And I have learned so much from it. I also want to say that my experience is my experience, and I trust that whatever will resonate with you will resonate, but I'm truly just speaking from my experience. I'm sure there's many other opinions about what happened to me, but what I will always stand by is knowing my truth and sharing my truth. So let's get into what I learned during this very, very dark time, low vibrational time. The very first thing that I really, really learned is that the darkness is real. Now, when I say darkness, you can refer to it as anything that you want. I'm going to say very low vibrational energies. Dark things, dark energy, which I didn't fully understand until I navigated through this health journey. I'm very much someone that has always been optimistic, full of light and very positive, but I fully now see that the contrast of that is also very real. There was a point in my health journey where I started to lose a lot of my physical ability to do things. I could not walk. I could not even lift my arm. I also could barely see. My vision was very, very blurry. The only time that I could really see was when I would close my eyes, and those were things that I didn't want to see. It was a crazy, crazy time. And because my physical ability to do things was truly gone, and my parents were helping me move, and it was heartbreaking for everybody involved, even though they have so much strength, like truly would not have gotten through this without them. It was breaking my heart to see them in pain because of me. It was breaking my heart to see them in pain because I was in pain. And I remember the times when I would just lay in the hospital bed awake. I would hear these voices, and they were so mean and so cruel. And at that time, it took me a lot of discernment to understand, like, hey, this is actually not my voice. These are the voices of low vibrational energies, entities that had made its way into my field because I was susceptible to them at that time. I was not protecting my energy, and I was at such a low vibrational state that it was easy for this fear, this darkness to creep in and to pollute my aura, to pollute my field, to pollute my thoughts, all of it. These voices got louder and louder. You don't deserve to be here. You are causing everyone so much pain. It would be easier if you left. It would be easier if you were gone. You would be happier if you were gone. Everything would be a lot better if you were gone. And the louder that these voices got, the more that I started to actually believe that maybe this was true. Maybe this is something that is going to help everybody. And that's when I reached my absolute lowest. That's when I saw death right there in front of me. I still remember this night. I still remember seeing death in front of me. The lowest vibration, the darkest energy you could ever possibly think of. And I had the choice of whether to go or whether to stay. And it was right there in front of me. This dark hole is what I'm going to describe it as. It was very tempting. It was very convincing that giving up on fighting would be the best outcome. I even remember mentally preparing myself to cross over. That's how bad it was. That's really how bad it was. And then in the morning, my mom, who was sleeping with me the whole night in the hospital and stayed with me in the hospital every single night until I got out, she was talking to me in the morning, and I actually shared with her these dark thoughts. This might sound like a lot for some people, or maybe some part of this will resonate, or you've navigated through something similar too. Although I really pray that nobody has to go through anything this intense. I could feel the most dense energy surround me, and it was disgusting. That's how I'm going to also describe it as. It just felt disgusting. It felt like it was intruding on my energy field. It felt very intoxicating even. It felt dangerous. It felt sad. It felt everything that you could possibly imagine except for this light feeling. I knew that this energy wasn't from the light, but because of the physical state that I was in, because of the energetic state that I was in, it was really hard for me to connect to the light at that time. But there was a part of me that was still shining inside that was like, do not listen to this, Lizzie. Do not listen to these voices. Do not listen to this energy. This is not you. These are not your angels. This is not of love. This is not how you're meant to go. And I knew that my soul contract here on earth was not complete yet. I knew that this was not how I signed up to leave this earth. And so the more that I came back to remembrance with this, the more that I raised my vibrational frequency to connect back to the light. I knew that this was not how my story ended. Something that really helped with this actually was that morning, after one of the darkest nights of my life, I told my mom, I shared with her what was on my heart, and the look on her face when she heard that I was thinking about possibly giving up was extremely heartbreaking. It was one of the most excruciatingly painful times, painful experiences that I've ever had, seeing the look on my mom's face. I have no idea what came over me to think that that was okay to share with her, but she did respond with a lot of compassion, but most of all, she responded with so much fire within her that snapped me out of this haze that I was in, this dark cloud that I was burying myself in. And she said, "You are way stronger than that. You are way stronger than that." And she just kept saying that. She said, "You are way stronger than that." And the more that she said it, the more that the volume got turned up on those particular words, which then resonated with me so deeply and brought me back to remembrance with who I truly am. Who I truly am. I am a light. I am an eternal soul having a temporary life experience here on earth, and I have complete sovereignty on what I choose for my reality to be. This download came over me, and that was the start of my vibration raising. And slowly but surely, I started to connect more and more to the light again. I started to be able to truly hear myself again. I started to be able to do self-healing on myself. At that time, I could not move my hands by myself, but slowly but surely, I got my mobility back. I was able to feel my hands again. I was able to feel my own emotions again. And that was the beginning point to the rest of my recovery. So I share this as a lesson learned because I want to remind everyone that if they are experiencing something very negative in their life, or something very dark, or something very painful, know that you have more power than that. That is not going to take your life away from you unless you allow it to. The darkness will try to convince you of many, many things. But if you look at it in the face and you say, "I am way stronger than you," and you keep saying it, you will start to believe it. And because it's the truth. First, it's the truth, but also that will help you take your power back. I am so passionate about people fully taking their power back because I know what it feels like to give your power away, unconsciously to energy that does not serve you, to energy that really does not have your best intentions at heart. It is painful. It took a year for me to recover and 2 years for me to fully recover from this health journey, from this experience of going into the energy of fear and navigating into the darkness. But I am so grateful for that morning when my mom said those words to me, and it snapped me out of one of the darkest times. And that's also why I feel that it's so important to be very careful about the words that you share with others. You really can change their life for the better by just believing in their experience, by motivating them, by giving them whatever encouragement they need to continue moving forward. Most of all, it just comes back down to the frequency of love. Love will truly, truly heal. It will truly, truly heal. Now, when it comes to my second lesson learned from having a near-death experience, and what I truly, truly believe is that you can really, really heal from anything. You can survive from anything. If there is a fight in you, if there's a fire in you, if there's a will, there is a way. This doesn't go to say that if your soul actually signed up to have your life end at a certain time, then that's a completely different story. But I knew at that time that my life was not meant to end that way. I knew that that was not the way I was supposed to go. And that is why I continued to fight. That's why I was like, absolutely not. I'm taking my life back. I'm absolutely taking my life back. If it feels like you are hitting a block here on the physical realm, then there is a spiritual component that needs to be addressed. And that's what was made very, very clear to me when I experienced that. So if you're feeling like you're really, really going down into the depths of the darkness, or you continue to hit a wall with things, there's probably a spiritual component to it that needs to be navigated through. Asking yourself, what lesson needs to be learned from this? What can I learn from this? How can I navigate through this for my highest good? And then it's a matter of connecting to the light, connecting to your angels, your higher light team of guides that are always there to support you, connecting to your higher self that knows how to navigate through any situation that you do not want to be in, any situation that does not serve you. That is why I emphasize and always reiterate how important it is to keep your vibration high, to move your vibration to a higher level, and to sustain that frequency by committing to the practices, committing to the energy of gratitude or whatever it is that lifts up your vibration, so that you are not as susceptible to energy that does not serve you, energy that is in a lower vibrational field. I remember that as my vibration healed, when I was in facilities, in the hospitals, I was better able to connect to my angels, because your angels are a very, very high frequency, and it takes you lifting up your vibration to be able to receive their signs, receive those intuitive nudges, receive the light, the healing that they are giving to you from the higher realms, that they are channeling to you from the higher realms, opening yourself up to receiving it. There was actually a time when I was staring out the hospital window, and I remember thinking to myself, wouldn't it be beautiful if a seagull, because this hospital was facing the sea, if a seagull just came and rested by my hospital window on this ledge? And literally the next day, I was sitting by the window, looking out of the window, praying, and the seagull showed up right next to me. And it looked at me right in the eyes. I still remember this, and I remember freaking out, but also just knowing, like, holy crap, the veil is so thin. It is so thin. And it was sitting there just looking at me, and it decided to just take a seat by the ledge. All the nurses, all the people were like going over to the window, and it's like, we've never seen this before. She's just taking a nap next to you. And I knew that the angels had sent this seagull, because my wish was for that to happen, and that was a sign from the universe to just keep going, that they're there with me, that my angels are there with me, and they've been with me this whole entire time. And when I saw that seagull, I knew that I would recover, and I kept fighting, and it gave me the strength to keep going. It gave me the strength to continue doing energy healing on myself, which I did every single day, and I still do to this day. I share this because I want to remind everybody how important it is to also pay attention to your thoughts. Where are your thoughts going? Are they navigating to a lower vibrational frequency, or are they navigating to a higher frequency? And the more that you are able to strengthen that muscle of the mind, the muscle of thinking more positive thoughts. This doesn't mean disregarding what is happening to you, but doing your best to lift yourself up, even when it's hard, doing your absolute best. The more that you will see that energy of positivity play out in your reality. This experience has been one of the hardest, but also the most enlightening, the most rewarding. Even though 2 years may sound like quite a long time for some people, for me, it felt like, now looking back on it, it feels like it went by in a blink of an eye. It was like all of my soul lessons got condensed into that specific time frame. And that does not mean that it's over for me with learning. There is so much more to learn and to know of. Still, this journey is a continuous evolution process, and I don't think that the learning journey will ever be over, but I do know that from this particular time, I have definitely been able to access higher levels of light because things got so dark. And that is something that I wish to remind, so many reminders here, but remind you all of as well, is the lower that you go, it is like a boomerang. The higher levels of light that you're able to access, your threshold for the light is even bigger because of how low you have went or that you are going through at this time. There is more to this world that our human mind will ever be able to comprehend. And I think that's what makes it so exciting, is that there's always going to be room to evolve. There's always going to be more to learn, more to see. Even if you are a fellow seer, a fellow psychic, someone that's also very intuitive, there's still so much expansion that can happen with that. As far as how this experience has really changed me as a person, it is very rare for me to take anything for granted now. Of course, there are times when I am deeply in the human experience, but it's very rare that I will take anything for granted, whether it be that deep breath outside, and you don't have to go through a near-death experience to remember not to take anything for granted. But my feelings around this are definitely heightened because of the experience that I've had. I'm also so devoted to continue moving forward with my life purpose, to bring energy healing to others, to bring divine guidance to others, to bring my lessons learned to you all so that it can support you on your journey as well. I want nothing more than for people to live out their dreams, to really feel that joy, that love, that light within them, all around them, because you deserve it and you are so worthy of it. I feel like there's so much more that I could say, that I could share. However, I do feel like I am complete for now. And if you want to see a part 2 of this, please let me know. You can also ask any questions that you have, or even share experiences of your own. I would love to hear them. I appreciate you all so much for watching it to the end of this video, making it to the end of this video. I hope that my experience, my journey, my lessons learned, whatever I've shared today has positively impacted you somehow, or has moved you somehow, because that is all that I wish for. I love you all so, so much. Again, thank you for being here. Thank you for being who you are. And if you're not already part of the community, make sure to subscribe if you haven't yet, to stay up to date with my videos and my healings. Sending you all so much love and so much light. May blessings and miracles flow your way today and every day. Bye, everyone.